I promise you this one will leave you breathless after years of starving. Myself of sex, I never thought I'd find myself in this situation, aching for a man so much younger than me, craving his touch like a desperate woman, starved for love. But after 10 years of lonely nights, after endless evenings spent with nothing but my own fingers and unfulfilled fantasies, I was breaking. And then he walked into my life. Jake Myson's best friend, tall, strong. The kind of young man who made women stop and stare. He had the kind of body that looked like it was carved from stone-broad shoulders, toned arms and abs that teased me every time he lifted his shirt to wipe off sweat. At first it was just harmless admiration, but as the weeks passed, something inside me woke. Up something. Hungry the first temptation. It happened on a summer afternoon. My son had gone on a weekend trip, leaving Jake alone in our house. I'd just finished my shower, wrapped in nothing but a silk robe, when I heard a knock on my bedroom door. Mrs. Carter. Your AC isn't working. Mind if I borrow a fan? I hesitated, my heart pounded. Come in. I called, my voice softer than I intended. Jake stepped inside, his shirt clinging to his damp chest, his dark eyes locking onto mine. And in that moment I felt it. That electric charge, that unspoken hunger. His gaze flickered to the open slit of my robe. The curve of my thigh, barely concealed. I should have tightened. I should have sent him away, but didn't. Instead, I leaned against the dresser, letting the silk slip just a little further down my shoulder. It's so hot today, I murmured, watching the way. His throat bobbed as he swallowed. Jake let out a shaky breath. Yeah, really hot. The air between us was thick, charged, dangerous, his hands clenched at his sides. He was fighting it, fighting me, and I loved it the moment everything changed. He stepped closer, just enough that I could smell his sweat, his cologne. His desire. I looked up at him, my body screaming for something forbidden. Jake, I whispered, trailing my fingers lightly over his arm, feeling the heat of his skin. You don't have to go just yet. His breath hitched, his jaw tightened. Mrs. Carter. He rasped, his voice strained. We shouldn't. But his body told a different story. And as I reached up, my lips just inches from his, I knew. This was the moment I could never take back. Things are about to get even hotter. The point of no return. Jake's breath was heavy, his chest rising and falling like he was fighting a war inside himself. Mrs. Carter. His voice was his fingers twitching like he wanted to touch me, but was holding back. That hesitation excited me. I moved even closer, my silk robe slipping, further exposing the smooth curve of my bare shoulders. Hey, my name, I whispered, my lips dangerously close to his. His jaw clenched. His eyes were dark, heated, filled with hunger. Lisa, he finally breathed. That was it. That was the moment. I reached up, sliding my fingers along the firm ridges of his stomach, feeling the tension beneath my touch. His body was on fire. He sucked in a sharp breath, his muscles tightening under my fingertips. His words caught in his throat as I traced a slow, teasing line down his chest. Jake! I murmured, tilting my head. Do you want this? His hands clenched into fists at his sides, his body stiff like he was holding himself back, but then as if something snapped his resistance, shattered with a low growl. His hands gripped my waist, pulling me against his hard, strong body. The heat of him melted me. My heart slammed against my ribs. His lips hovered inches from mine, his breath hot, his body rigid with restraint. I've wanted you for so long, he admitted, his voice thick with need. I gasped. Asa finally touched me, really touched me. His finger skimmed up my thigh, pushing the silk aside, his grip. Firm, possessive Jake. My voice was a breathless plea. And then finally his lips crashed against mine. The kiss was hungry, desperate, reckless. I tangled my fingers in his thick dark hair, pulling him closer, pressing my body into his hands. Explored me, claiming every inch like he had been starving for this moment. I moaned against his lips, arching into him, needing more. His breath hitched. We shouldn't be doing this. But his hands betrayed him. They didn't stop. And neither did I. Because for the first time in 10 long, lonely years, I finally felt alive the morning after. Or so I thought. I woke up breathless, my skin still tingling from his touch. The taste of him lingered on my lips, my body craving more. But as I stretched, reaching for the warmth of the man who had set my soul on fire, I realized the bed was empty. Jake was gone for a moment. I lay there, my heart pounding, replaying every sinful second of the night before, the way his hands had explored me, the way his lips had claimed mine, the way he had worshipped my body, like he had been waiting forever to do it. But now in the morning light, reality hit me. What had weighed on the forbidden temptation returns. Just as I was about to slip out of bed, I heard a noise. My breath caught footsteps, and then the bedroom door creaked open. Jake stood there shirtless, sweat glistening on his toned chest, his dark eyes locked onto mine. I went for Erin. He said, his voice low. Husky, needed to clear my head. He swallowed. He'd pulling deep inside meet the sight of his powerful body. Did it work? I asked, my voice softer than I intended. He exhaled sharply, stepping inside, closing the door behind. Him no, I barely had time to react before he was on me again. His hands gripping my waist, his lips crashing onto mine, losing control. I moaned as he pinned me against the wall, his body pressing into mine, the heat between us igniting once more. I can't stop thinking about you. He'd mitted his breath hot against my skin. Tell me you don't regret it. Regret the only thing I regretted was not doing this sooner. My fingers traced the hard lines of his chest, my lips, teasing his jaw. I don't regret a single second. His grip tightened, his control slipping good because I'm not done with you yet. And just like that, we gave in again, this time without any hesitation. His kiss was fire. His hands, rough yet tender, dug into my hips as he backed me against the wall, his body pressing into mine with a desperation that mirrored my own. I could feel every hard inch of him, the proof of his desire, burning through his jeans. Tell me to stop, He rasped against my lips, his voice raw, but I didn't. Instead, it tangled my fingers in his hair and pulled, him closer, my tongue sliding against his in a slow, sinful dance. His groan vibrated through me, sending a shiver down my spine. Lisa, my name on his lips was a prayer and a curse. I led him to my bedroom. My pulse roaring in my ears the moment the door closed behind us. His hands were everywhere, peeling away my clothes, tracing the curves I'd been too ashamed to let anyone else admire. But Jake, he worshipped me. You're so beautiful, He breathed, his mouth trailing down my neck, my collarbone, lower aghast as he took me in his mouth, my back arching off the bed. His tongue was relentless teasing, ruining me in ways my ex-husband never had. Jake I choked out my fingers, gripping the sheets. He didn't let up, not until I was, trembling, begging, my thighs shaking around his shoulders. Then with a wicked grin, he finally gave me what I needed, filling me so completely, so perfectly, that I sobbed his name into the dark. We moved together, frantic and feverish, the bed creaking beneath us every thrust. Was a confession every moment of sin, and when I came apart beneath him, when he followed me over the edge with a groan, I knew there was no going back. Speech balloon. What do you think happens next? Will their secret be discovered? Can they keep their hands off each other? Or will guilt tear them apart? Drop your predictions in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for more or sinful stories. Forbidden love has never been this hot. 1 year later, the letter arrived on a Tuesday. Dear Mrs. Carter, we regret to inform you that your son Daniel has formally withdrawn consent for any contact. I didn't need to finish reading the embossed university letter had said. Nuff. My fingers trembled as I set the paper down on the kitchen counter, the same counter where Jake had first kissed. Where we'd crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. A warm hand settled on my shoulder. Hey, Jake's voice was deeper now. Steadier, the boy I'd fallen for had become a man in these stolen months. You okay? I turned into his embrace, breathing in his familiar scent woods, and that cheap cologne he refused to stop wearing. He changed schools, across the country because of us. The truth sat between us like a third person. The room Jake's arms tightened around. Me, I know, flashback 3 months after that first night asterisk. Disgust measterisk. Daniel's voice had cracked, like he was 15 again, not 19 the duffel. Bag, this feet was already packed. My best friend, seriously. Mom, I'd reached for him. It wasn't planned. Was it worth it? Asterisk his eyes. My ex-husband's eyes had burned. With betrayal. Asterisk was histerisk present day. Asterisk. Jake pressed his forehead to mine. We could reach out, try again. He studied the man who'd wrecked. Andre built me, the laugh lines around his eyes from our secret weekends at the lake. The scar on his collarbone from when we'd gotten reckless in the kitchen, the way he still looked at me like he hung the moon, even when I felt like the villain in this story. No, I whispered, tracing his jaw. Some fires burned too hot to put out. The doorbell rang. Jake frowned. You expecting someone? I wasn't. But when I opened the door, the past stood on my porch in a wrinkled suit holding a bouquet of wilting daisies, the same kind he'd brought on our first date 22 years ago. Hi, Lisa asterisk. My ex-husband's smile was hesitant behind him. A moving van idled at the curb. Jake's presence loomed behind me, a silent storm. I didn't need to turn around to feel his tension the way. His fingers had curled into fists. One man represented the life I'd lost, the other the life I'd chosen. And as the autumn leaves swirled around us in the quiet suburban street, I realized this wasn't an ending. It was a reckoning speech balloon. Who should Lisa choose? Jake passion scandal, a love that burns bright, but might destroy her asterisk. Her ex-stability forgiveness, a chance to rebuild her family asterisk herself. Walk away from both 6 months, after everything burned. Asterisk, the courtroom air smelled like stale coffee and regret. I adjusted the collar of my blouse. Too tight, like everything else in my life these days. As me lawyer slid a document across the table, full custody to Daniel's father asterisk. She murmured with supervised visitation only. Asterisk across the aisle. My ex-husband wouldn't meet my eyes beside him, our sonisk. My baby asterisk stared at the wall like I was already a ghost, and Jake wasn't here. Flashback the night it all fell apart. Asterisk, you knew this would happen, asterisk. I'd screamed at him, hurling the framed photo of Daniel's high school graduation. It shattered against the wall, near Jake's head. You selfish, reckless, I love you, asterisk. His roar shook the windows. Asterisk was that supposed to be a secret asterisk present day. Asterisk, the judge's gavel cracked like a gunshot. Case dismissed. Asterisk, I walked out of that courthouse into a rainstorm. The October wind whipping my hair like punishment. That's when I saw him leaning against his truck in that damn leather jacket, looking older than his 22 years. Lisa asterisk rain dripped down his stubble jaw. I wanted to lick it off. I wanted to slap him. You shouldn't be here. Asterisk, my voice sounded dead. Jake pushed off. The truck, his boots splashing in the puddles. Asterisk, I got accepted to firefighter training in Colorado. Asterisk, a laugh bubbled up, hysterical, broken asterisk. So this is good beasterisk, come with me. His hands framed my face, callous, thumb smearing rain and mascara asterisk. This town. The past, just us starting over. I closed my eyes, saw Daniel's face. At 8 years old, sticky with popsicle juice. Saw Jake smile the first time he came inside. Me saw the empty wine bottles and lonely beds of my future when I opened them. He made my choice. 1 year later, Rocky Mountain sunrise asterisk. The firehouse. Alarm shrieks at 3 me roll over in our borrowed bed watching. Jake yank on his gear with practiced efficiency. He pauses at the door, just like he does every time, and presses a kiss to the curve of my pregnant belly, love. You both, asterisk, he whispers out the window the first. Snowflakes of winter begin to fall somewhere back east. A son might never forgive his mother somewhere. In this wild new life, a phone might never ring with the apology I crave. But here there is fire. Here there is peace. There is also the true endasteris casterisk. Broken heart was this. The right ending fire for more raw emotional stories. Smash that subscribe button, love letter, comment below. Would you have followed Jake into the unknown?